The Formula One world is currently abuzz with the resurgence of Mercedes, a team that has been making waves in the racing grid. The Brackley-based squad has been on a winning streak, clinching 2 consecutive victories and amassing one of the highest point totals over the past 6 race weekends since the Miami Grand Prix. But the Silver Arrows aren't resting on their laurels. They've identified and rectified the issues plaguing their car, and with Lewis Hamilton ending a 2-year winless streak, it seems the team is back on track to challenge the top contenders for more victories this season. Hamilton's decision to leave Mercedes for Ferrari was a major talking point, but with the mid-season development cards now reshuffled, one can't help but wonder if he's having second thoughts. Mercedes has made a strong comeback in the race for podium finishes. Despite having little hope of winning races outright earlier in the season, they've managed to lock the front row in front of their home crowd and secure a race win, signaling their return to form. However, the weekend wasn't without its disappointments. George Russell's retirement due to a mechanical failure cast a shadow over what could have been a perfect weekend for Mercedes and a significant comeback in the Constructors' Championship. But this setback doesn't diminish the fact that Mercedes has much to look forward to, especially with a newly motivated Hamilton at the helm. Hamilton, who has faced struggles in recent years due to flawed concepts and missed opportunities with Mercedes, was visibly moved by the result at his home race in Silverstone. He expressed his deep gratitude to his team and partners, and his words reflected the emotional weight of his last British Grand Prix with Mercedes. But as the saying goes, all good things must come to an end, and now the question on everyone's lips is whether Hamilton is reconsidering his move to Ferrari. Mid-season development is a crucial factor in determining a team's standing for the rest of the campaign, and it appears that Ferrari has dropped the ball significantly. While the 2025 season is still a way off, the current regulations will remain in place, meaning any performance gains found now will be invaluable for the next season before the major shakeup. The RB20, once considered the best car on the grid, no longer holds that title, even though Max Verstappen has extended his lead over Lando Norris in the Drivers' Championship. Red Bull can no longer cruise to easy race wins, as Mercedes has broken a record that stood for over 700 days, taking 2 consecutive wins from Red Bull. The last time this happened was in 2022, when Ferrari's Carlos Sainz and Charles Leclerc triumphed in the same 2 races, Silverstone and Austria. Mercedes' development path looks increasingly promising, and the team is praising the efforts of James Allison in bringing them to where they are now. At the start of the season, it seemed clear that Mercedes had fallen to the midfield, with Aston Martin expected to be their main competitor in 2024. Actions like Hamilton leaving the team and Aston Martin's decision to switch to Honda fueled speculation that the Silver Arrows lacked the firepower to fight at the front. But just 2 races before the summer break, the Brackley-based squad has bounced back with 2 season wins, a feat they haven't achieved since 2021. A look at the race pace during the Silverstone Grand Prix reveals that Mercedes was indeed the fastest car, holding an advantage of over a tenth of a second per lap compared to the second fastest car, McLaren. This was under all track conditions, and had the weather been more stable, we might have seen an even more dominant win, given how well both Mercedes drivers managed their tires. It's clear that Mercedes is back in the game, and the rest of the season promises to be an exciting one. In Formula One, it's often a game of strategy and foresight. Max Verstappen, for instance, was likely conserving his tires as advised by his race engineer, anticipating the first splash of rain and preparing for the subsequent one. However, even before the rain hit the circuit, Verstappen was conspicuously absent on the medium compound tire. But the real headline here is Mercedes. They're not just making a comeback, they're accelerating full throttle into the future. James Allison, the team's technical director, is thrilled with the car's performance, winning races and pole positions in a pure racing manner. He has ambitious plans to bring even more upgrades to the upcoming venues. Earlier this year, Allison stated that the team aims to bring upgrades to every possible race, whether they come in small, inconspicuous packages or larger, more noticeable forms. Mercedes' impressive performance in Silverstone has only reinforced this commitment. Allison expressed his excitement about the future, stating, "I know what we have got coming, and I also know what we are planning to further improve the car." The conclusion is clear. Mercedes is back in the fight for race wins. The team's trajectory and mid-season development have been positive, as evidenced by their score of more than 200 points in the Constructors' Championship, with the majority earned in the last 6 races on the calendar. Allison admitted that the team was quite stupid not to see what was standing in front of them the entire time, blaming himself for not unveiling these upgrades earlier and potentially entering the championship fight for 2024. Mercedes has proven time and again why they have been at the top of the sport for so long, despite facing desperate times in the past couple of seasons. While some decisions, such as Hamilton's move to Ferrari, cannot be undone, the team now has the perfect platform to prove to Max Verstappen that they have what he needs, the best car on the grid. 2 wins, one of which came somewhat fortuitously after the Verstappen and Norris incident in Austria, may not be enough to prove this. However, the team's development path, the 1-2 front-row lockout, and the pure pace dominance they demonstrated in Silverstone all indicate that a driver with Verstappen's skills could easily win races with that car. It's easy to understand why Mercedes is waiting a bit longer to announce the second driver alongside Russell from 2025 onwards. Team principal Toto Wolff never misses a chance to throw a dig towards Red Bull and stir things up a bit more when it comes to the Verstappen-Horner beef. If Red Bull fails to maintain the title as having the most competitive car on the grid, Verstappen could easily leave and continue his dominance in Mercedes. It will be interesting to see whether Hamilton made the wrong move to join Ferrari. After all the hype has simmered down, the Maranello team is back to ground zero, driving the Imola Specs car here in Silverstone while everyone else brought massive upgrade packages. Seeing Charles Leclerc so depressed through his statements, saying he has no idea why things are going the way they are for so many years, will definitely open Hamilton's eyes. Hamilton is the type of driver to bring that revolutionary, game-changing energy to a team that needs it more than ever right now. But given that this is Ferrari we're talking about, everyone would bet more money that if Verstappen were to move to Mercedes, he would see more success from 2025 or 2026 and beyond than Hamilton with the current state of Ferrari. With all of this in mind, do you think that Mercedes has what it takes to fight for race wins for the remainder of 2024? More importantly, do you think they have a proper shot at finishing in the top 2 spots in the Constructors' Championship, now that the downfall of Ferrari is more than evident? We'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. And that's a wrap for today's F1 Report. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the world of Formula One and want to stay updated with the latest news, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Keep the pedal to the metal, and we'll see you at the next race.